Welcome to my WOW Chats, Words of Wisdom with people I love and admire and respect. Marlysa Sullivan, this is one of my best friends. Oh, she's a physical therapist, a yoga therapist, professor at MUIH, Maryland University of Integrative Health, and I mean, you do a ton of other things, but let's just get to your words of wisdom. So, Marlysa, what is the meaning of life? Because we had talked, you were talking, about some of this, and you just, take it away. Like you're so wise in what you're about to say and share with everyone. I'm so excited. So Marlysa's going to tell us what the meaning of life is.
It's kind of my thing right now of like really investigating and thinking about. I'm a little bit focused on it. So what I had thought about sharing was this idea, and I don't remember the exact quote, from Viktor Frankl. And it talks about instead of going out and searching and grasping and trying to find the meaning of life and trying to create your meaning and purpose, that the question of meaning might actually be reversed. That life is always asking us to understand and realize our meaning. And I think in the practice of yoga, that really becomes prevalent in this idea of dharma and this idea of like when we can really align with this deeper truth, when we can be present with what's arising instead of searching for what it is that I'm supposed to do in such a way that we're not able to be present and understand. If we can be open and receptive, allow life to arise and emerge, and through that allow meaning to develop and meaning to happen.
That's cool. And so can you give people that are watching, like, how do you do that? Like something practical or?
So, and one of the interests I have in that is this idea of so Aristotle talked about virtue ethics, and that we can take all of these ethical qualities like humility or non-harming or truthfulness, and we have to constantly inquire and reflect on what it means to me in that moment. So I think in yoga, when we practice aligning ourselves with these qualities like compassion and kindness and patience, then we can be open to whatever it is that life is presenting us with. And through that matching of these qualities with life, we can begin to allow meaning to simply arise instead of searching for it. And so what that means is that instead of wishing things could be different, I wish that I could have had this opportunity, I wish I could know this person, I wish I hadn't had this accident, I wish I hadn't had this situation in my past, all of those, and with respect to any kind of suffering people experience, of course, not to diminish that, but at the same time, allowing yourself to really inquire into, this is a situation that I'm going through, like I have a hurt back, or I have a loss of a friend, or whatever it is, and honoring that, and then noticing what is it that's asking me to understand. So if it's a loss of some kind of function in my body, how is it helping me to understand what is being asked of me to understand? Patience, acceptance, love, compassion. With the loss of a friend, what is it that is being asked of me? Am I being asked to develop a deeper connection with other people, to call on the support of my friends and my family and my community? So allowing meaning to arise naturally from our circumstances, and rather than like, I have to achieve this thing, or my meaning is only fulfilled if I'm a teacher in this way.
That makes sense, yeah. And you can do that, like you said, just from like thinking, like trying to basically, I don't want to say analyze necessarily, but kind of like just reflecting or self-inquiry.
Yeah.
And then even, because you and I are yogis and yoga therapists, and even through other ways, like maybe even through the body, body wisdom maybe comes up, or meditation or breathing, right?
And like in yoga, like in even the Yoga Sutras, it's like this idea of Kriya Yoga, where we have self-study, surrender, and like the fire discipline. So the self-study of like inquiry of what's happening in the present, what's arising, what are the qualities of life and presence that I want to cultivate, but also surrendering to, this is what life is asking me, this is how life is asking me to embody or realize these principles, these ideas, and that's really our dharma. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love it.
In a way, I feel like, our dharma, our purpose is really about our capacity to connect to ourselves, to others, to the world, and these principles and that meaning of life helps us to realize that as our ultimate purpose.
words of wisdom, the meaning of life in less than 5 minutes.
That's it. Super easy.
I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for watching my WOW Chats. Check out all of the other words of wisdom from people that I love, admire, and respect.